All right. Hello, everybody. This is Craig Valine, No BS Craig to a few. Today's Power webinar is based on the topic, the magic formula for zeroing in your ideal customer using your Wealth Attraction GPS. If you're on the call, please mute your phone if you haven't already. All right, so today this is our Power webinar. We're going to talk about this. If you're not familiar with me, just in case, let me tell you who I am. My name is Craig Valine, and I am the loving father of this little boy, Mini-Me. That was a couple years ago. He's a little bigger now. In fact, I think I told him this morning that I would like him to stop growing because he's growing too fast. He's sprouting like a bean. I have been an entrepreneur since I was a young boy, age 11. Came with my dad, gave my sister a $5 allowance per week, and he gave me 50 cents. And I said, what gives? What's the deal? He says, I'm going to teach you a valuable lesson. Go out and earn it. And that was the best advice I've ever received in my life. So from that, got a bunch of paper routes, mowed lawns. I'm from Boston, so I shoveled snow in the winter, and needless to say, I made a whole lot more than the $5 a week my sister was making. So I am grateful for my dad for that. Right now, I am a marketing performance strategist. What that means, it's a fancy word for consultant, but what I do is I enhance the performance of current marketing campaigns on tactics and strategies for entrepreneurial companies, locally and nationally. I'm a direct marketer. I sell things by direct mail, by advertising, by the internet, whatever media can directly reach my target markets. So I do that and make a lot of money doing that. I'm a private coach to some successful entrepreneurs locally right now, which include dentists, consultants, and just miscellaneous entrepreneurs, but all are looking to go to that next level in their business and need a little help and guidance. I think we all need that. I'm an author as well, and I'll show you a copy of that book in just a moment. I found my mentor, Dan Kennedy, his book, The Ultimate Marketing Plan, in a Bucket bookstore in Boston in 1993. That book changed my life. I was broke. I had $1 in my pocket, and I had a T-Pass. That's the train pass to get to and fro my home to the city. And inside that book was a very profound idea, and that is tie your marketing message into what your prospect is already thinking about. So at that time, I taught karate part-time at a friend's taekwondo studio. And there happened to be a bunch of muggings going on in Boston, and they were happening on Boston Common. And I thought, how could I use that? Well, we decided, my friend and I decided to go into local companies in downtown Boston and teach self-defense during lunch or after hours, in their conference rooms or whatever. And what we did, we called it Common Sense Self-Defense. We went and we ended up making a lot of money. On top of that, we got a lot of referrals to come and take karate full-time at my friend's school. And needless to say, I didn't just end up with a buck in my pocket anymore. But that's really got me on this this kind of championing of Dan Kennedy, because one idea really can change your life if you implement it. If you implement it right away. And so that's how I found my mentor, Dan Kennedy. I found him multiple other times after that, saw him speak, and received some product from another guy who recommended Dan Kennedy, and I said, better follow this guy, better become a serious student. That was 20 years ago. Wow, 1993, it's 2013. So I'm grateful for that, and you're going to learn a lot of things through me that I've learned from Dan. I've been operating the local chapter of GKIC in Pasadena. It's now called EMP, or Enhanced Marketing Performance Power Events. I've been doing that since 2007, and we are very proud. We're one of the best groups around in LA for entrepreneurs. I would say we're the #1 group in LA that teaches marketers in entrepreneurs to make better marketing decisions, to choose the right media, to choose the right tactic, choose the right strategies to reach your ideal target market, position yourself as experts so that people are attracted to you rather than you having to hunt them. So I'm excited to be part of that and to be around this long. Most groups fizzle out. We're going strong, and we got a whole year filled with speakers, which I'm very excited about. So this is my book, The Ultimate No BS Guide to Entrepreneurial Success. Soon to have a new cover and updated links and resources in there in the next 15 days. So you'll see a different cover when we do the next Power webinar. All right, so let's talk about what is a wealth attraction GPS. Okay, this stems from Dan Kennedy's wealth magnets, what he calls it. He says, be somebody that people seek out, that want to learn from, that want to do business with, that want to follow. Okay, he says, be somewhere where people can find you. Be in the obvious places, be in the unobvious places. Okay, where can they read about you? Where can they watch you? Where can they see you live and in person? Where can they find you in places that you might not even think about? You know, my friend David Fagan calls it the law of multiplication. So how can you get in many other places by just doing one thing? Let's say, we'll give an example right here is a book, right? You write a book, it gets dispersed in many different places, right? People can find you in bookstores, they can find you online. That's being somewhere, okay? And the last thing is doing something. Do something, okay? You can't do business sitting on your butt. Dan says wealth won't find you if you are at home slouched on or hiding under the couch. No matter what your circumstances, you have to make a point of putting yourself in places where opportunity can occur. Sitting at home hoping the phone will ring isn't necessarily that place, unless you have properly and appropriately put your name and your message in multiple places where they can find you. Okay? But just sitting by the phone doing nothing, hoping someone's heard of you, isn't going to work. Dan says you can't do business sitting on your butt. You know what the A stands for. But you have to be doing something on a regular basis. Okay? I just did a call today called Business Banter with my friend Casey Eberhardt and David Arsenault, and you know, one of the things that people do is they rely on one marketing strategy to bring in business. And the challenge with that is, what if that one thing stops working? What are you going to do now? You have to have multiple things working for you at the same time so that when one isn't working as strong, you have other things working for you. Kind of think like a mutual fund. If you know how a mutual fund works, it has varying degrees of performing stocks. Some are very aggressive, some are very, you know, risk-less, if you will. So you want things working strong for you, and you want things working, you know, all the time. That's really what I'm getting at, okay, is have multiple things working for you simultaneously. Diversity creates stability. Here's an advanced strategy. Be everywhere that's relevant, everywhere your ideal customers or clients are, and be omnipresent in those environments. That means be in as many places as you can. Like, so for instance, if you advertise in a magazine or a newspaper, don't just have one ad in there, have multiple things in there. You might have an advertorial type ad, you might have a place ad, you might have a classified ad, you might have an insert in there as well. Okay, if you're doing a trade show, you might have a booth at the trade show, you might have goodies in the goodie bag, you might have a banner up on the wall, you might have sponsored an ad in the program. Okay, that's being omnipresent. Don't just be in one place, okay, because chances are people will miss it. You want to assume that people are going to miss that one thing, so you have to be in many places at once. If you don't own Dan's book, No BS Wealth Attraction in the New Economy, I encourage you to get it. It's one of his best books. All these wealth magnets are in there, and I believe, I don't have the page, but just read it. You'll find it. Okay, so there's 3 ways to grow any business. Okay, number 1 is increase the number of qualified customers or clients or patients or members who do business with you. Okay, that's what we're focusing on today. Okay. Second way is increase the amount each customer spends every time they do business with you. So if they're buying X, right, is there something that might complement that sale? So for instance, I just recently bought a camera, right? What else would I want with my camera? Perhaps a camera bag, a memory disc, okay? What else? A tripod for it, a strap. See where I'm going with this? So what other things can you complement the sale? The camera costs about $600, but how, by leveraging, I'm already there, right? Instead of coming back another time, I'm already there. So by a simple question by the sales clerk to say, do you have a camera bag? Do you have a strap? Do you have the memory disc? Do you have this thing? They just increase the sale by $200, okay? So you want to leverage every opportunity that you have when a customer is in front of you. Every time they purchase, how can you increase that transaction value? Okay? And third way is increase the frequency of repurchase. That is, get them coming back to do business with you more often. If you leave it up to them to come back when they're ready, chances are, number one, they'll come back, they'll forget about you, they'll go do business with somebody else, or they just forget and they don't need your product or service anymore. But if you stay in touch with them on a regular basis and give them reasons to come back, right? So today is a holiday. I'm not going to mention it because it's an evergreen webinar, but today's a holiday. If you tied in, hey, here's a reason to come in. It's something day, right? And we're giving special prices for loyal customers because it's that holiday, all right? So you want to create reasons. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's any reason for a sale, right? Could be, hey, it's my aunt's birthday, so come in for Aunt Zelda's birthday sale and get 25% off because you're a loyal customer and I want to let you know that I appreciate you. And Aunt Zelda appreciates you. Have fun with it. It doesn't have to be serious. It doesn't have to be about anything in particular. It's any reason for a sale. Get them coming in. It doesn't even have to be a sale, by the way. It could be just an invitation. Hey, have you filled your prescription lately? Hey, have you cleaned your car? Hey, have you got the latest lens for your camera? Okay, remind people to just come in. All right, so your wealth attraction GPS. Where are your best prospective customers, clients, patients? Okay, what do they read? What publications? Are they reading local newspapers? Are they reading area or regional newspapers? Are they reading newsletters? Are they reading online? Okay. What do they watch? Do they watch specific shows on TV? Like, for instance, if you're in the financial advisor, right? Do they watch the financial reports on Fox, on CNN, on MSNBC? What do they listen to? Do they listen to talk radio? Do they listen to KISS FM? Do they listen to, NPR? Okay. Where do they go? What events do they attend? Where do they eat dinner? Where do they go to church? Okay. Where do they congregate is the next question. You want to make sure your message can reach them in the places that they read, watch, listen to, attend, and congregate. Okay. It's very simple. But we can't just think one way. Oh, I'll just put it in the paper once and that'll work. No, we have to be omnipresent. We have to be in as many places as possible. Diversity creates stability. Where can you place yourself that elevates your status and importance? So you want to ask yourself, what organizations do they belong to or associations that they are a member of? So if you deal with a professional type of client or customer, so for instance, I deal with a lot of consultants, right? I want to put myself in front of other consultants. So the Institute of Management consultants, that's where I might hang out. That's where I might go and put myself as, let's say, the resident expert in marketing for those consultants. By being of service to your target market, for whatever it is you sell or offer, you can become the resident expert to that target thing, whether it's consumers or whether it's business to business. Okay, by offering, so what I do for the Institute of Management Consultants, I might offer free call-in days once a week. Might do a quarterly seminar for them or workshop at their quarterly meetings. I might do a teleseminar or a webinar for them, and I'm providing this free of value because it's a form of sampling. The more they hear what I have to say, the more they're likely to say, this guy knows what he's talking about. He can help me get through my marketing problem. Okay, so the other way to do it, if you're dealing with consumers, is just get them on, and again, you create this kind of rapport and connection, and that's what you're really looking for. It's about influence. Okay, so you want to ask yourself what organizations they belong to or associations are they a member of. Where can you place yourself that showcases and demonstrates your experience, your expertise? So videos are a great way to do this. Podcasts. Do an internet radio show and post it on iTunes or any of the hundreds, if not thousands, of podcast directories on the internet. A book is a great way to showcase your expertise. Books are easier than ever to get published these days because a book only has to look like a book. Okay, and now Kindle books. Okay, we used to know them as ebooks, which were in PDF or something like that. Well, a Kindle book is now an accepted example of a book, okay, as long as it looks like a book and it's sold on a bookstore, online bookstore. So I currently interview people, and then I translate it and edit it into a Kindle book, and now the person that I just interviewed not only has an interview in front of them, right, that they could use as a giveaway or a lead magnet, but they now can say, I'm an author of a Kindle book, or I'm an author on Amazon.com. Okay. Local or trade publications, if you can get in there, submit press releases or call the editors of those magazines and say, hey, we have something that might benefit your readers. Write a blog post, a guest blog post for someone who caters to your target market. Okay, if a good blog has good readership, then get on their readership. Who else already has your customer? That's what you want to think about. Social media, again, reaching thousands, hundreds of thousands, right, if done correctly. Okay, if you encourage people to share it, pass it on. So you want to ask yourself, what trade shows or expo events do they attend? What conferences do they attend? What blogs they read? What local trade publications do they read? Okay, ask yourself those questions and find a way to get in there. And it's not rocket science. Literally, you can call the editor of any trade publication and say, I am an expert to your target audience, and I wrote an article that I think would be beneficial. May I send it over to you? They'll say yes or no. Okay? If no, try again next time. Okay? Don't give up. Next question is, who or what can you associate yourself with that your best prospective customers, clients, patients pay attention to, respect, or are involved with? Okay? This is what my friend Shannon McCaffrey calls little birdie sitting on an elephant's back. Okay? Who already is influential that you can associate you with and get recommended to or get the good word about you, right? So I have a friend who's very prominent in the marketing world, and we've become friends over the last 10 months. And by my association with him, I've gotten so much business, and I'm getting asked to speak more. I'm asked to do a lot more things, and it's because he's that elephant in that target market. And I mean, not that I'm not big myself, but you know what I mean. He has a bigger list. He has bigger influence in that market. So by association, I am becoming that person too. So little birdie sitting on an elephant's back. Who already is influential in your target market that you can associate with that will help you get instant influence to that target market? Very, very powerful strategy. Relocation can equal reinvention. So what do I mean by that? Where else can you find your ideal customers, clients, patients that your competitors haven't even thought of? So what are the unobvious places that you could reach your target audience, okay? Don't just settle for the obvious places. So you think like, just for an example's sake, right? If you were a financial advisor, you might think that you should advertise in the financial pages of the LA Times or a financial blog. But what else do people who who invest or are serious about their finances do. They might like sports, right? They might subscribe to sports magazines or golf magazines, right? So a great place for a financial advisor to put themselves, especially if they're a national firm, is to advertise in a golf magazine or a yachting magazine or a car magazine, okay? So think about where the unobvious places are that your competition is least likely to be. Okay, and it's really not hard. Just think about it. You know, if you say, well, my ideal target market is affluent. They typically have incomes over 250,000. They own a boat. Blah 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 blah. The more you know about your target market, the more you can say, well, let's try advertising in that magazine. Let's go to this site on the internet that they might be visiting. So you want to test different things in different media where, again, it's unobvious. It's not the least likely place to go. It's the less likely place that your competitors would ever think of advertising. Omnipresence, let's talk about that again. Once you've decided on your where, meaning you've decided on a place that you're going to express your message, the best questions are, how many different ways can I appear there simultaneously? So I gave the example of a magazine, right? You could have an advertorial type ad in there. You could have a placement ad in there, like a regular space ad. You could have a classified ad. You could have an insert that goes in there, right? That would be multiple places for them to find you in the same publication. If you're at a trade show, you could have a booth. You could have a party. You could have a banner up. You could be in the program. Okay, you want to think about, how can I be there as many different ways as possible. The second question is, how can I be there all the time? Okay, so if there's an industry newsletter, if there's a local paper, if there's something, right, how can I be there all the time so that I'm always in front of them? They never forget me. Okay, that's very, very important. That's the branding part. It's part of the branding part. Okay, if you think of branding as true branding, right? Branding on the side of a cow or a horse or whatever, right? That's because it's branded and you're always seeing them. Oh my God! Everywhere I look, I see your name, right? It's powerful. So let's just summarize these wealth magnets. Be somebody. Be somebody of influence. Be somebody that people are seeking out because of the things you're doing. Be known for something specific, okay? So what am I known for? If anybody could say anything about me, I would say I'm dedicated and committed to helping entrepreneurs succeed. I'm dedicated and committed to helping them make better choices strategically and tactically for the long term, for equity, not just instant gratification, okay? And those are pretty much it. But I'm committed to so many things. But those are the things, that's what I'm known for, and people seek me out for it. Okay. Second thing, be somewhere. Be where your target market is likely to find you, whether obvious or unobvious. Okay. So the likely things are, what do they read, listen, watch, pay attention to? Where do they congregate? Where do they attend? Right? Think of those obvious places, and then think of the unobvious places. What are their favorite hobbies? What do they like? What do they like? Sports, golf, boating, cars, food. You know, find them there as well, and be omnipresent. Be there as many times as possible, so that it's always in their minds. Okay, your message is always in their minds. And lastly, do something. Okay, do something now. Don't wait. Do a video. Do a video once a week. At least just do one video, but do a video once a week. Write an article. If you do a video, transcribe it if you don't want to write an article. Do an interview. Get somebody to interview you about something that you're good at, okay, a problem that you solve. Start placing ads. Start sending direct mail, okay? You could send cards out, personal handwritten note cards. If you could send out 10 a day, something's going to happen, right? Inviting them to watch a video, inviting them to call in for a free something or another. Just do something. Okay, that's where results happen, is when you do something. All right. So I'm going to open it up now for questions. So anybody on the line, if you would like to ask any question relevant to this, what we just talked about, or any questions in particular, you can unmute and say who you are and then ask your question.
I'm Kim Saavedra,
Hey, Kim.
and thank you so much for all this valuable information. One of the things I was wondering, it's just a little tidbit from the wealth of what you provided, but where would you find the right kind of places to send or distribute a transcription of a video?
So let me see if I get that straight. Where would I send that to get it transcribed?
No.
Okay.
What kind of uses would you, how would you repurpose it?
Oh, okay. You could use it as a blog post. You could use it depending on how long the video was. So you could put it into a booklet. You could turn it into an article, a white paper, anything. It could be used as a lead magnet. So, for instance, if your video was, you know, how to get in touch with your spiritual self, and I'm just throwing that out there, you know, that might be valuable to people. So instead of a video, maybe people don't like watching videos, maybe they like to read, maybe they like to highlight, so you could put it in the form of an article and offer it as a lead magnet. So I think we talked about this, if you were going to set up an opt-in box, give away something, you know, so this would be something that you could do. Also, if you didn't transcribe it, you could strip away the audio from a video as well. So you could strip away that audio and put it onto a CD that you could give away.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So
Yes, it does.
Yeah, everything you do has the potential for multiple different, we'll just say products. Okay, so a video can be an audio, it could be written. Okay, a written can be an audio or a video. An audio could be, you know, see, and they can be turned into audio CDs, MP3s, for the video, MP4s, live stream, bits and pieces, and it can be compiled into a DVD. The written things can be, you know, over time, if you've done enough of them, they can be turned into a book. Okay. One of our members, Ted Moreno, compiled all his blog posts and created a 250-page book. Yeah, and now he's an author. I mean, he was an author when he wrote, but he's now a published author on Amazon.com, and that gives him enormous credibility.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I hope that helps.
Yes, very much so. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I see someone else on the call. Any questions? Kim, do you have any other questions?
I just wanted to say that you really have changed my mind about the omnipresence, because one of the things that I've personally struggled with is not to be in people's faces.
Yeah.
So I would do something once, somewhere, and then maybe send an email blast out too. But I ran one ad, maybe two ads a week apart in something in advance of meetings. But I think need a personality makeover to go ahead and just put it in all the various places, so that they can, if they miss one place or two, that they may notice what we have to offer. Thank you very much for that.
Oh, you're welcome. And the key point there is never assume that they saw your first ad. Never assume that they saw that. Yeah, because life is full of distractions. And number one, if they're not ready to see it, meaning there's no need for them to see it at the moment, it's not in their minds, then they'll kind of miss it anyway. Okay, they'll just kind of not see it. You know, if there is a need for it and they see a key word in there that touches their, you know, goes, boom, that's going on in my life right now, then they're going to pay attention to it. But even still, life is busy and full of distractions. So anything could be another competing ad that has either relevant or non-relevant things going on that captures their attention, and they're all of a sudden not paying attention to you anymore. Things in their life could come up that cause them to think about something else, and now that ad is now far gone and they've forgotten about it. So that's why you need to consistently be in front of them, because what we say, life is a moving parade. Number one, their needs may be no need right now, excuse me, but maybe there is a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. Okay. But the other thing is that, like, again, life is full of distractions, and when relevant and unrelevant things going on, just competing all the time, barraging us. We've got to do the same thing, and so if our message goes out once, it's going to get lost. If it goes out 3 times, we have a better chance. If it goes out 6 times, we have a better chance. You know, so you want to be in as many places at once, definitely.
I like that. Thank you very much. And the same would happen with different pieces of information, different video disseminations. Why assume if they haven't seen it once that I shouldn't send it out again?
Right.
Especially when they go on over months and months, you know, of dissemination.
Exactly. I have recycled my articles through this list that I have that you might receive emails from me every once in a while. I've sent the same article out at least probably 10 times. Because there's new people on the list, there's people who never read it, you know, and the people who did read it go, oh yeah, that was a good one, I'll read this again, you know.
That's great.
Yeah, and like on social media, when I post a video or I post a message of something, or even a picture, it doesn't mean that anybody saw it the first time. So, you know, every maybe 2 weeks I repost the same thing I did, maybe stated slightly differently, but you know, chances are hopefully someone sees it this time that didn't see it last time. So yeah, that's probably the best strategy. That's probably the best tip you could have got on this call. I
appreciate it.
Yeah, well, you're very welcome.
A game changer. Thank you, Craig.
Good, good, good. Any other questions by anybody? All right. Kim, I'll give you one more chance. Do you have another question before we hang up?
You've covered it. I really appreciate it. It's been great.
Okay, so I'm going to close by just giving some announcements here. Our next power event, Enhanced Marketing Performance Power Event, is on the last Tuesday evening of this month in Pasadena. You can get all the details and register at www.registerpasadena.com. See who our guest speaker is there, right on that page. Our power webinars, like this one, are always held on the second Tuesday of each month at noon. And again, all the details will be sent to you by email from the member site. And a copy of this recording will also be posted to the site within 24 hours. So if you want to hear it again, please do. And if you have any questions at all, you can email me at craig@laareagkic.com. That's going to be it for today. Thank you, everybody, for being on the call, and I will see you at our next power event. Have a great day, everybody.